I'm Marilyn de Guzman with investingnews.com. I'm speaking with Andrew Chubb, CEO of Awale Resources, about the progress of the company's gold and copper project in West Africa. Great to have you, Andrew.
Thank you very much, Marilyn. Really great to be here with you. Thank you.
So you announced recent assay results from the Odienné project, and there are some significant things there. Talk about the highlights of these results.
Yeah, for sure. So in the last 2 weeks, we've announced some pretty nice results. So follow up on a new discovery at a target we call BBM, which we've now drilled 18 holes and got mineralization in all those holes, but a really nice a start to something that actually sits on an 8 kilometre long anomaly. So there's more targets to drill along strike from that as well. But it's a nice shear zone hosted copper, gold, molybdenum, silver mineralization that we've got, and something that we're about to start the rigs on very, very soon, probably in the next week to 10 days. We'll be drilling at BBM again. And then the other one was, we announced on Monday, which was something that I really beyond anything I imagined that I would ever drill in my career. So 32 meters of solid mineralization, sort of with no real big nugget in the middle of it at I think it was 46.5 grams. It's a really, really significant drill hole, and we were testing a new sort of 3D framework at that target. We drilled holes there and got 50 to 100 meter gram intercepts, but the sort of 3D wasn't speaking properly, so we adjusted our interpretation and went in to test that and found it's a breccia system, and we found a new breccia pipe and got the broadest intercept of the actual geology that we have, and 57 meters of mineralization at 26, and within that 32 meters at higher grade as well. So that's really exciting stuff for us, and sort of opens up that target for joining the three breccia pipes that we've drilled together, and rapidly creating volume there as well. So we'll be drilling on that target shortly as well. So in the same time frame, in that next week's 10 days, we'll be opening up drilling at both BBM and Charger. And the important thing about it, look, the biggest thing for us is that we believe that we are sitting on a big gold copper system, and there are other discoveries that we've had within that system as well. There are 2 other discoveries, and it's really evolving into what looks like a big it has the potential to be a big camp, a big mining camp in West Africa.
No. So what you've discussed, really, it's really not hard to know why you've made this your flagship project, and it's the only project that you're currently focused on. What can you maybe talk a bit more about some background about this property? What makes this a compelling asset, and also if you want to, talk about West Africa as a jurisdiction for your project.
For sure. I mean, the first part of that is that I think as a geologist, you imagine finding something like this, and it's probably something that I felt like it might be a once in a career sort of thing that we were starting to cotton onto. And we actually came up with a new sort of, I won't go into the geology detail, but we came up with a new mineralization model there. We got Newmont to buy in on the new mineralization model, and that's why they joint ventured on 2 of the permits that we hold in the district. We actually hold, it's a big district scale play with 2,500 square kilometres of permits, and 800 kilometres is actually joint ventured with Newmont in 2 permits. And so, when I took over as CEO, I was able to sort of bring that vision and that idea that the company should be absolutely focused on this project, because the project already was showing that it had the potential to really deliver the results that we're, the things that we're delivering now, and include, I like I said, that drill hole at Charger, like it every time I think about it, it blows me away. It's just I've never seen something like that in my career. I've been operating in West Africa for solidly since 2010. I actually lived in Burkina Faso for 5 years, so fairly aware of the socio-political environment as well as the geology of West Africa now. And yeah, I mean, things have changed in some of the countries to the north of Côte d'Ivoire where we are. But, each of those countries operates as their own individual country. And Côte d'Ivoire itself has always been kind of a burgeoning economic powerhouse in West Africa. It's got two ports. It's got really good infrastructure. It's got a good electricity infrastructure. They've got a lot of foreign investment from many different countries, and their economy is they've always had a strong farming based economy. They've been they've been one of the biggest cocoa producers on the planet for many years, along with cashews and other things. They're big exporters of those products. But they changed the mining code in 2012, and it became a better framework for companies to operate under, and through that, there's been more money spent on exploration in Côte d'Ivoire since 2012, and they've rapidly expanded as well. So there's been many new mines develop in that time frame in Côte d'Ivoire as well. So it really is an attractive jurisdiction from that perspective.
And you mentioned your JV with Newmont earlier. Could you provide a little bit more details on what the details of that JV and why that's sort of significant for your company?
Look, the joint venture with Newmont has been fantastic because raising money on the capital markets has been raising equity has been extremely difficult. And it gave it, like, we signed that the joint venture with Newmont was signed in mid 2022, and since then we've spent $5 million on that within the joint venture permits, and that is what's allowed us as a company. I mean, we operate, and we come up with the exploration plans and all that and all those things, and Newmont's been funding. They have a couple of guys that have been associated with it and are intimate with the project as well. That have we discussed the project, but effectively, the two companies have always been aligned on where it needs to go from that technical perspective. But in a nutshell, in that difficult time of raising money on the capital markets, it's allowed Awale to have a fully funded project that we could do really good, systematic grassroots exploration, and you don't just find these things. You actually have to do systematic exploration, do geophysics, do all these things, and that all costs money to build those drill targets. But then we've also had the funding to drill them and create these discoveries. So there had, before Awale went into this project, there hadn't been a hole drilled. The only data was Randgold had done regional soils over a portion of the project back in the mid-90s, and that was one of the first things I used to as a tool in there, along with some regional geophysics and things. But having that joint venture is what really has allowed us to drive that project forward, and the capital markets by giving us the ability to do.
So what's the next step for the Odienné project, plans for 2024?
A lot of drilling. So we've got 25,000 meters of drilling planned at the moment. We've got a $3.5 million budget approved from Newmont for the year. And so we'll be advancing the BBM discovery and the new model that we've got for Charger, as well as in the background trying to bring along some of the other targets behind that. But there will be at the moment a focus on those BBM and Charger targets, but like I say, and then a smaller portion of the budget will go into moving along the other targets in the background, and with the idea of even more intensive drilling into 2025.
Great. Well, thanks again, Andrew, for joining me today and sharing your company news.
Thank you very much, Mary-Lem. Really great to be here with you. Thank you.
And thanks everyone for watching. Join us again next time for another engaging conversation on CEO Insights. If you like this video, make sure you subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss future updates and interviews. See you next time.